profit. That's my logic. I'ma take it to the coffin. Just being honest. Try to sink my ship like Titanic and leave me with Jack. Hope I be panicking, but I rose to the top. Isn't it funny that the is built like a Maserati, yoga folding like origami? What? I walk the walk, I talk the talk. I be saying what I want. When I had no deposit, closet was looking real bare. Now I made a deposit, my closet's looking super rare. Drove it really far. Crazy how did this happen, wishing on a star.
The onset of fall weather, certainly a welcome occurrence for folks in Silicon Valley. And we've got football on a gorgeous day here in Santa Clara as we are situated at Levi's Stadium. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the San Francisco 49ers. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Hey, check mega.
On second down, here's Mitchell. And he'll get about 3 up past the 25. This defense for the... terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Red, cycle. White.
And Lance now to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. The drive starts with a completion left side, and they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On first down, Fields. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Here's Fields. Open man, completes it to Claypool. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. Well, here we go on 4th down. Fields. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Austin Hooper. His first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Flag 2. Field blue. Blue striker.
Now Lance. Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. There's your co-NFL record holder, T.J. Watt, doing what he does best, terrorizing quarterbacks.
Here we go.
Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long.
Black shot. 6. Mega. Yellow. Check, huh?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. Would be ideal. And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
And this is caught inside the 5. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Chase Claypool, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll make the score 14-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll start with a run by Mitchell. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
What an advantage having an elite guy to build a defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Watch it, 6. Drill green.
The Lance going to throw. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Yellow, go.
They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now Austin. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Fields eluding the pressure right. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. He lost 2, and it brings up 4. Here's Presley Harvin now. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game. I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First and foremost,
hold on to it.
Take care of the football. That's all he needed to do.
That goes for a gain of 31.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. I'll give credit to his players.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Najee Harris, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Let's go now.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And he's going to have a Niners first down as he'll take this up to about the 33-yard line.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Ready, play.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. First down, here's Mitchell. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Black Ultra. Red, yellow.
To throw, it's Lance. And this is going to be intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Steelers are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Touchdown! Chase Claypool with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it is 28-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Steelers are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Play action. It's Fields. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now it's Fields. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
3rd and long. It's Fields. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. And taken right on the 30. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Here we go, set. Field, black.
Lance looking to throw it. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Go red. Red, cycle.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Lance looks to throw again. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
From the gun, a give to Mitchell. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Double 38.
Brings up 3rd down.
Lance looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. Taking it right down Broadway. Past the 20. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. as well. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Lance's throw pulled in by Kittle. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Lance now on first down. This one caught by Kittle. He's brought down in the red zone at the 18 after a gain of 18. First and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10.
Black shot. 6, 7. Fierce Keller.
Again, it's Lance. Throws the out loud and completes it to Samuel. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
Green. Black Ultra. On the ball.
Here's Lance to throw it. That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Niners are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Lance going to try to throw for this. And it'll be intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Off play action, Fields. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Now a hit and a loose football. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game, and we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Fields. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory.
Let's go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here... Now Lance throws the interception, his 3rd. Levi Wallace with a pick, and he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter, it would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Fields. Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding.
And this is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Harris will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1. Again, it's Harris. But he will not get to the goal line. In fact, he won't get to the line of scrimmage as they push him back to the 2. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. They'll try to run with Harris. That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
There have not been a lot of great moments for this defense throughout this game. Finally, they have one they can hang their hat on. A nice stop there.
They snap it to Fields. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Justin Fields taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Steelers take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone up. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Boswell for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Steelers 49, 49ers 8. Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
First down 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And my goodness, another interception. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough, but, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the 49ers will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception's really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
Now a play fake. Lance blowing that play up. Roquan Smith as he gets the sack.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long. In his own end zone, it's Lance. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety.
At this point, I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked on a passing down. The amount of times he's hit the deck today, I think a lot of us are reading safety before they even took the snap. Simply a merciless pass rush every step of the game, and that rush earns a crowning achievement there.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
The last drive for this offense, Charles, you remember it ended in one play, that quick interception, but they do still have the lead as they start this drive here.
And that's something to focus on for them as well, because it's not quite no.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Chase Claypool with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Steelers are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one. He might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On play action, Lance. And this is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
The Niners on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Red cycle.
And Lance now to throw. Steps away to his left. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Lance now on first down. Buying time, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. T.J. Watt getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Toward the sideline, it's complete. An athletic grab, but still well short of the first. Desperation time here. Lance. And now here is another interception. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Steelers are going to take possession here at their own 33. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Fields now to throw. Claypool with another catch. Oh, a solid stiff arm and some open field. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. From the gun, here's Fields. He's going to look deep down the field. And this one is incomplete.
I think it's pretty evident that any blowout isn't going to be big enough for them. They're already up 7 full touchdowns, and it's still not stopping them from throwing it deep downfield, taking their shots, trying to add more points.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Again, Fields. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Here we go on 4th down. Fields
being chased out left. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. No question that one stings a little extra, because he had that. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
Throwing again is Fields.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
He's got Claypool for a Steeler touchdown.
8 yards on the touchdown pass.
And the Steelers add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory.
Boswell good with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side, and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
To throw again on 2nd down.
Lance.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Takes it at the 7.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, 5. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Steelers.
That late touchdown stretching their lead a bit further here in the fourth quarter. And, Charles, this undefeated team once again looking sharp in this ball game.
And how about what they've done on offense? Because prior to this game, we didn't expect this offense to play as well as what we've seen in this one. They decided to jump out there and jump up with the rest of the team and help preserve their undefeated status.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they're going to try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Well, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
On the double. Shot 17.
Here's Lance. Again to the big tight end, George Kittle. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Throwing again on second down. Lance. This will be caught at Samuel. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 23.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Lance looks to throw again.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
Well, CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about or really grasp onto in this game. They've been dominated, but at least they get a late touchdown here, something positive to put on film for tomorrow's session.
Yeah, they're still trying to execute, trying to get some positives on their board and ledger sheet and keep this from being a...
And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Roquan Smith.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you get a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside.
And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's going to go for a big play downfield.
Well, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward.
And the Niners come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just